Hey there, badass dream makers. This is the Relationship of Your Dreams podcast. It's Alex, your badass dream maker host. I'm here because I believe that all humans deeply desire and thrive in loving relationships. And let me tell you, it's possible because many do find the love of their dreams and more. I'm just here as a guide to help you through the variety of obstacles and hurdles in dating and relationships so that you can also find the love of your dreams. And you're bound to learn about yourself as well. So, 2-in-1 deal. We will get deep here and you may feel triggered at times. Triggers and discomfort are part of a growth process. However, please use discretion as to how much discomfort you are ready for. Now, let's jump into this juicy episode and get you what you want. Hey everyone, welcome back to my podcast. I appreciate you being here as always, and also as always, I'm just going to jump right in. So, today we're going to be talking about the concept of forgiveness, but we're going to dive a bit deeper. So we're actually going to talk about forgiving abuse versus accepting abuse in past relationships. So this can be a very difficult topic for some people, and if this is difficult for you, please make sure that you are in a safe space. Maybe light a candle or put on some essential oils, something on the TV that calms you down, anything that helps your nervous system stabilize. Again, this can be difficult for some, maybe not as difficult for others. So just make sure that your nervous system is stabilized if it is something that's sensitive to you. So in part of that, I am going to do a very quick breathing exercise. So I'm just going to tell you that we're going to breathe in for 4, hold for 7, and out for 8. Here we go. One more time. Great. Well, thank you for doing that with me. So we're going to dive into talking about the foundation of forgiveness. So we need to understand that all humans, are imperfect. We all make mistakes. We aren't always the angels that we view ourselves to be or want ourselves to be. And accepting this concept, this foundation for forgiveness, involves getting past your ego, letting down your defense mechanisms, because that will help you realize the mistakes that you make and mistakes that maybe you make that relate to other mistakes, even if the level and consequences are different. And we also have to remember that there are reasons why people do things. And we all do the best we can with what we know in every single moment. And if we know any better and still act otherwise, we might not have had the willpower or the strength to make different decisions at that time. There are patterns of behaviors that all of us engage in some way, to some extent, different extents from one another, but still under the same topic or realm. So that might have sounded confusing, so I'm going to give you an example. So for example, behaviors on the spectrum of empathy. I, in the past, used to hate when it seemed like someone lacked empathy. Like when someone hurts someone else without seeming to care about it. And then I just started to realize that I've been there too. I've been that person who's hurt someone else and didn't really care enough about it. And that sometimes happened at a similar level or at a different level with different consequences. So more specific examples. So like, let's say someone said really hurtful things to someone else, telling them that they suck, that they're stupid, that they'll never be a good person, anything like that. And I thought that I could never do that. That I would never ever. Like, that does not match who I am, right? But I realized that I had done that in the past. I just kind of covered it up in my head. Or it doesn't even have to be something that you've done in the past. It could just be something similar, like in the same realm. So, for example, you could say that it's a lack of empathy for hanging out with people knowing that you're sick and not letting those people know that you're sick, and very well knowing that they might also get sick because you're sick. And I have done that, right? Different levels of severity, right? But there's no way we can define a quote unquote threshold as to what is deserving of forgiveness and like what isn't. Like, there's no actual rule book for this. It's all relative. So, like, how could we ever make it objective? We just can't. That's just not how it works. And if you think about it, if you don't forgive others, then it means that you probably don't think that you yourself can be forgiven. Right? That one hurts a little. That stings a little bit. When I realized that got to me. We just have to accept that people are capable of anything, which means not only are we capable of the negative things, like the lack of empathy that I'm talking about, but we're also capable of positive change. So it's helpful to believe that you yourself can be forgiven as well as others, because it shows that you believe that you yourself can change and others can change. And you probably have more confidence about you changing your negative behavior into positive behavior, whatever that means, and less confidence in others changing, which makes sense. It's kind of like you're keeping your walls up, right? You're not trying to have certain expectations of other people. Makes sense. But that's not the point here. The point is that people change in general. And forgiveness shows that that change can be accepted by yourself and by others. And that can lead to a happier life with more open doors and more opportunities. You don't feel as held back by that guilt or shame. And not only can you do better next time, you can just also feel at a base more fulfilled and more purposeful. So now that we've discussed the meaning of forgiveness, let's apply it to what I said this episode was going to be about. So, I want you to keep in mind that forgiving someone is not just allowing or accepting the behavior. It's not saying what you did is okay. It's saying, I'm not holding you to what you did. Let me say it again. It's not saying what you did is okay. It's saying, I'm not holding you to what you did. The not holding piece is key. There's a release or like a let go of whatever thoughts and emotions are attached to that lack of forgiveness. And with that release of those thoughts and emotions, the less you bring those into your next relationship. And when you don't forgive, you might stay stagnant in a victim mentality, thinking you're the victim of this abuse, which you were, for sure you were. And I don't want to invalidate that, but your victim mentality can't last forever. It could if you let it, but you're not going to live a happy, fulfilled life. A victim mentality is a past mentality. When you stay in victimhood, you're staying in the past. And when you're staying in the past, it will hold you back from better things in the present and in the future. Let that sit in. When you're in a victim mentality, It's a past mentality, and a past mentality will hold you back from better things in the present and in the future. You might be scared to let go of those thoughts and emotions associated with the lack of forgiveness, because you might feel like it's protecting you. And I've been there. I used to think that holding on to those negative thoughts and emotions associated with not forgiving people would protect me from getting sucked back into the abuse, right? But in reality, those thoughts and emotions are just looming around inside of you, just hurting you inside out. And the key here to, I guess, rewire, like this will help you rewire how you feel about it, is if you come to believe and fully embrace as fact that abuse is not something you accept into your life, then you will not feel the need to hold on to the thoughts and emotions that come from a lack of forgiveness. If you come to believe and fully embrace as fact that abuse is not something you accept into your life, then you will not feel the need to hold on to the thoughts and emotions that come from a lack of forgiveness. That right there is key. If you're going to re-listen to any part of this episode, that one. That's what you need to really work on, and the rest will often fall into place. Gotta love boundaries. Well, I do, right? They are helpful. And that is all I have for you. As you know, I like to keep these short, so you can have a quick listen and hope you took something away from this. And again, if this was something that was triggering for you, please go do something to neutralize and stabilize your nervous system. Until next time.